What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and the oldest restaurant in the city of Los Angeles has announced that, unfortunately, it's going to be closing its doors after 117 years. This is Cole's French Dip in downtown LA, which has weathered the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and a global pandemic, but is falling victim to the same factors that has led to the demise of so many other historic LA restaurants over the last year. Let's get into it. Originally opened in 1908 as the PE Buffet, or the Pacific Electric Buffet, Cole's French Dip has always been a living testament to the city's evolution. The restaurant was opened by Harry Cole, who opened the restaurant in the Pacific Electric Building, the main terminal for the Pacific Electric Railway, serendipitously during the era where Los Angeles was the mass transit capital of the world. When the restaurant opened, it was perfectly positioned to serve the more than 100,000 daily commuters who passed through the doors of the Pacific Electric Building, many of whom stopped in for the now legendary French dip sandwich and a cold mug of whatever was on tap. Now, Cole's claims to be the original inventor of the French dip sandwich, which is hotly contested by its rival Philippe's. The most commonly accepted tale of the Cole's French dip sandwich credits the chef Jeff Garlinghouse with the creation. In 1908, it said, he dipped a roast beef sandwich in au jus to soften the bread for a customer with sore gums, inadvertently creating a culinary classic. However, in a 1997 interview with the LA Times, former owner Gidi Bichetti said that there was a chef working in the kitchen and someone asked for a sandwich, but they dropped the bread into the beef juice, but the customer liked it. The other customer in line behind him asked for the same sandwich, and there the French dip sandwich was born. Now, while there is no record of the French dip sandwich on either Cole's or Philippe's menu before 1930, this ad from 1920 shows that they did indeed have hot roast beef sandwiches. Regardless of the actual origin of the sandwich, the restaurant thrived before and during Prohibition, and especially after, famously selling a record 19,000 gallons of beer on the first day that California lifted the ban. Wow. It's during this era that Cole and his son Roland began cashing checks at Cole's, at one point cashing more than 15,000 per day inside Cole's. Now that's a way to drive customers. Cole's was also notorious as a hangout for mobster Mickey Cohen, who had a regular table at the restaurant and allegedly roughed people up outside of plain view in a back office that eventually became a speakeasy called the Varnish. In the 1960s and 70s, Cole's was also a hangout for famed writer Charles Bukowski, who called Cole's one of his favorite haunts. So much so that one of the urinals in the bathroom was memorialized with his name and what he did there. 1974, Cole's was designated as a Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument and officially recognized as the inventor of the French dip by the city of Los Angeles. And there's also the legacy of famed bartender Jimmy Barella, who joined Cole's in 1918 and served as the leading barman for an astonishing 65 years, becoming a beloved fixture behind the bar. Wow. After a few changes in ownership, including by Ted Mandikic and Edward Pagliano, who also owned Red Lion, 213 Hospitality, now known as Pouring with Heart, undertook a careful $1.6 million restoration in 2008, preserving the restaurant's vintage charm while updating its offerings. Acclaimed chef Neil Fraser joined the team and helped reinvigorate Cole's menu and reputation, as well as upgrading their classic French dip. Unfortunately, earlier this week, Cole's announced that they would indeed be closing their doors permanently and serving their last French dip sandwiches on August 2nd after 117 years of continuous operation. This is the oldest restaurant in the city of Los Angeles, and the closure marks the end of an era for downtown LA and Los Angeles in general. In a statement by Pouring with Heart, CVO said Moses, the writing was on the wall for a long time, and the decision was attributed to a combination of factors: the rising costs of labor and rent, the lingering effect of the pandemic, and the deterioration of the historic core of downtown Los Angeles. Now, Moses says he's hopeful that somebody will buy Cole's and carry on the tradition, but for now, the doors are going to close in less than a month, and the legacy of LA's oldest restaurant will simply be a memory of when mom and pop restaurants could survive, no matter what hardships were going on in Los Angeles. All right, LA, it's been a minute.